Good morning, I'm Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. I tell you, it's interesting. You learn a lot about entrepreneurship and business by watching some of the reality TV programs out there. And one I've enjoyed is the one we're going to focus on this first segment is called Hardcore Pawn. And we've got Les Gold, who is the charismatic patriarch of the Gold family. He built American Jewelry and Loan from the ground up. And it's a very popular program on True TV. How are you, Les?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
You bet. How many homes is True TV in? Do you know, by the way?
How many what?
How many
homes?
homes?
I really don't. I know they're in a lot of them.
Yes.
Because of the popularity of the show, and we have, a couple million people watch it every Monday night. They're in at least 1 million homes.
Yeah, I'm sure. And you do a phenomenal job. By the way, I grew up in Ferndale, Michigan, and so that automatically made me kind of inclined and interested because you're not that far from Ferndale.
We're probably 3 miles away from Ferndale.
Yeah, right down the road. And so I thought I find that intriguing. And, of course, when I watched I haven't been there in decades, but I find it intriguing when I watch your show because sometimes you're outside of the store and we just I just see things that reckon back. But it's interesting, and you're part of a pawn show phenomenon, obviously, led by another show on a different network. But I like your unique angle and your unique take. Tell me what you think sold True TV on your concept.
Well, we do 1,000 loans each and every day. So you have that dynamic because the people, why do you need the money? What are you going to do with the money once you receive it? And when do you think you're going to pay it back? That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is the family dynamics. You have me as the patriarch of the store. You have Ashley and Seth trying to do their best to undermine each other and get my gracious understanding who's going to run the business the day I leave.
Which that's a kind of an ongoing battle, isn't it?
It's been an ongoing battle since the day they were born. So it's something I've been dealing with for the last 34 years with Seth.
Yeah. So let me ask you, is that whole dynamic, by design on your purpose, not so much for TV intrigue, but, really wanting to make sure that until the day you decide to leave that business, that they operate at the highest level, that they remain competitive, that they keep their edge? Talk a little bit about that.
Well, one of the things that the Gold family has done since I was a little Gold was that desire to succeed. And when I see Ashley and Seth come into the business, their desire, their passion, resonates to me that they really want it bad. And so it's great for the viewer that sees the family dynamics and who's going to be the right one making their decisions. And at the end, I'm the one that makes the right decisions. They just fight to get my understanding of their point of view. Yeah.
And how old is the company itself? I mean, so you inherited it yourself?
No, I didn't inherit it. I opened it in 1978 in a small city right next to Detroit called Oak Park, which you know where that is.
Yeah, right across. You're across the street from the zoo, or darn close to it.
Yeah, well, it's right across the street from 8 Mile. So we're on the south side of 8 Mile. Just north of 8 Mile is a city called Oak Park. It was a suburb of Detroit, and that was my theory back in 1978, was the environment for pawn shops was going to change, and I wanted to be the first pawn shop in suburbia. So I opened it up, and, the rest is history. I was in Oak Park for 14 years, and we moved to Detroit in 1993, and we've been here ever since.
Yeah. Are you still, do you have only the one location?
No, we have another location in Pontiac, which is on Telegraph and M59, which is about 18 miles from here. And there's, opportunities coming now because of the popularity of the show, the need for more pawn shops. We're thinking about opening up a few more.
Yeah, interesting. Talking about the show Hardcore Pawn.
Yes, I think that was True's idea, was to keep it a tongue twister.
Yeah, absolutely, and it does that. And but the hardcore certainly isn't the sexiness so much, although you certainly have that flair. But it's just it's really kind of intense. It's a tense environment and a lot of drama, and it's a fascinating program.
It is, and we're very proud and happy to still be on after almost 5 years of being on television. We're the number one show in Italy, in Spain. We're on everywhere from Australia to South Africa, and it's who could have ever imagined at 59 years old, which was 5 years ago for me, that my life would change in ways that were just unimaginable. So it's been a great ride. I wrote a New York Times bestseller. It's been great.
Yeah, so let me ask you about the fact that you are a number one show in European, it sounds like Southern European countries in particular. How do you explain that phenomenon?
You know, people outside of the U.S. like to watch reality shows that are based out of the United States. We're doing an event middle of April for a television network called DMAX, which is in Italy. We're expecting about 6,000 people in Milan at our event when we're there. I really can't explain it. I'm just glad to be part of it.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. And what kind of impact has the show had on your business, your core business?
Well, the core business, timing is everything. And when the financial problems hit the United States, 2008, 2009, 2010, it just so happened that pawn shop shows became popular. You talked about our show, you talked about the shows on other channels, and what that allowed was that it showed people that pawn shops are not downscale anymore. It's cool to come to the pawn shop, and people that lost their job that were earning 6 figures, 7 figures, realized that there was opportunities out there that you could pay the rent, that you could put food on their table, even though they had lost their jobs. They lost their 401s. They lost all their investments, but they still had their jewelry. They still had their electronics. So it made a big impact.
Yeah, no question about it. I noticed your son, Seth, he is a graduate of Go Big Blue, University of Michigan. Your daughter was Ashley, Michigan State University. I mean, they got tension on just about every level. I mean, that's pretty interesting if you look at it.
You can't imagine the strife when we have the football games from Michigan and Michigan State. Now Ashley's beaming with Michigan State going to the Final Four. So she's one up on Seth right now.
Yeah, it was good years for a long time for, I guess, until 2007, right, when Appalachian State beat Michigan. They've been in purgatory ever since.
Right. Well, things are changing. Things are changing now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so what are you, Big Blue or Spartan?
Well,
Come on. We're here in Texas. They'll never know.
Okay, go Blue.
Go Blue. Yeah, Big Blue. I'm with you, buddy. All right, man. Well, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
You bet. And, by the way, when's your show on?
Monday night, 10 p.m., True TV, 9 Central.
Yeah, there you go. Check it out. All right. When we come back, more for you right here on The Price of Business. Do want to remind you, best content here is up over there at usdatareview.com. Stay tuned for more.